Hello, creative friends. I wanted to share with you today how to make your own hand-dyed ribbon using Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks. Materials that you can have on hand to use are seam binding, and I tend to use a white or a cream color, your positively saturated inks or re-inkers, gloves if you don't like getting your hands dirty, a spray bottle, and I usually cut my ribbon to about a yard length for each one. Okay, so let me just get this set aside here. And what I start off with is I start by spritzing my seam binding, getting it damp, and then what I will do is with my saturated inks, and this one I'm using Citron, and what I will do is just rub this onto a craft mat. So you want to have some type of craft silicone mat to work on. I spritz that with water, and then what I start to do is just press my ribbon into the ink that's on the craft mat, work it in until I have a color that I like, and then I just scrunch that up into a little kind of ball, and I set that aside to dry. And what I want to do now is I'm going to wipe that color off and do another one. So baby wipes are always a handy tool to have in your craft space. Okay, so next I want to do the sweets in the positively saturated ink. Again, so just press that into the pad, spritz it with a bit of water, take your ribbon, spritz that with some water, and then once again just press that into the ink that you have on your pad until you get a color that you like. And sometimes what I like to do if I'm not picking up a lot of color is I will just go in with the ink pad, tap that into the ribbon. So you're going to get this very nice variegated effect when you're finished. And depending on how much ink you use is how much of a saturated color you're going to get. So again, just combine that into a little ball, set it aside. That way it's going to dry with a nice crinkly texture. All right, now you can also, if you have the re-inkers from Simon Says Stamp for the positively saturated inks, you can also use a re-inker to do this. So what you want to do is just put a little bit out onto your craft mat. Again, I like to spritz it with a little bit of water. And as you can see, you're getting a lot more color with this one. So when you put that in, you're going to get a very different effect with your ribbon. So this one, as you can see, is much brighter than the first pink that I did. All right, so it's just, again, it's working to what colors you want to get. Now, what I also wanted to share is that it's not just one color that you can work on, but what you can do is you can you can blend colors together. So just to show you an example with a blended color, what I'm going to do is again spritz the ribbon, the seam binding, with some water, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put both color inks onto the pad, my citron, and then my sweets. Maybe a touch of the re-inker here too. I think I need to re-ink that pad. I've used it a lot. All right, so once again, we're going to spritz with water and activate both those colors. And now what we're going to do is we're going to dip the ribbon again into both of the colors to get a different variation, kind of more of a little bit of a coral pink with this one where we've blended the colors. So this one is a combination of the pink, the sweets, and the citron. So the pink and the yellow, and we get a completely different color. So here we have 4 variations using the 2 colors of inks, and those will be set aside to dry. And just to show you what it's going to look like once it's dry, and let me keep that area clean, is here I have some of the pink ribbon, and as you can see, it has a very crinkly texture, which is great for adding on to tags or onto cards, or even sometimes I like to gift wrap with it. And here's my citron yellow, and again, it has that very crinkly texture to it. And then here's some of the blended that I made with the 2 colors, just like I had demonstrated. So these are all set to use. And just to show you a couple of examples in ways that these can be used, I just thought I would share with you a couple of tags. And just, you can tie your ribbons on to the end as in a bow. You can just tie them on like that. They're great to wrap around a card, but now you have a tool that you can make yourself that will match the inks that you're using. I hope you have fun with this. It's something that I really enjoy doing. All right, have a great day.